And everybody here to Park Hill South and Raytown South here at Park Hill District Stadium. I am Heath Fanning for the call tonight. We are cutting in here into midway in the first quarter. Raytown South just was able to issue a safety on Park Hill South, so Raytown South now leads 2-0 here in the first quarter. They'll take the reception here up to the 50, up to the 45, and some more. Down the sideline up to the 30, and knocked out of bounds at the 25. And great field position there for Raytown South. On the return was number 9, Jamel Cox. And all of a sudden, Raytown South, who comes into this game with just a record of 1 win on the season, now sees themselves up 2-0 in with the football on the 25-yard line. So Raytown South will be in the white and red tonight. Park Hill South in the purple and black jerseys. The snap goes, option left. Jitterbug out to the outside, now near side, and out of bounds at the 20-yard line goes Raytown South. The running back, Glenn Pargo, on the short carry. So about a gain of 4 yards there for Raytown South. That will bring about 2nd and 6. Park Hill South on the season comes in at 3-2 overall. Raytown South 1-3 and also a tie on the season. So Raytown South definitely the underdog coming into this matchup. Shotgun formation, Raytown South, draw play up the middle, and flags come out here on the turf. So false start for Raytown South as the Cardinals will move back 5 yards, and what was 2nd and 6 now will be 2nd and 11. Clock stops at 8:19 here, and they will place the football at the 26-yard line. South comes out of the huddle, and they'll have a pistol formation here. Number 18, Dylan Walton, with the pass to the flats here, and a catch and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. In on the reception was Reese Fleming. So a nice little pass and completion there goes for the Cardinals. Stops the clock, and now the clock back running right underneath 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. So that'll bring 3rd and 5 from the ball at the 20-yard line. Cardinals huddle up. Park Hill South stacks the line with 5 defensive linemen. Walton, pistol formation, takes the snap, works right, play action, now rolls left. Jitterbugs, now he'll pick up and run, and he's got close to a first down before he steps out of bounds. I believe that will be good enough to move the chains. And a great job there by Walton, faking the pass and picking up the first down with his feet. So now South up at the 18 and has the opportunity to extend this 2-0 lead here. This is a league matchup between Park Hill South and Raytown South. Walton will bark a few calls, and a flag thrown on the field, delay a game on the Cardinals. So after that first down, they weren't able to get the play in on time and delayed a little bit as they worked up to the line of scrimmage. They'll move back 5 yards to make a 1st and 15, and the clock will stop at 7:30 here first quarter. A few tidbits on the year. We said Park Hill South 3-2 and Raytown South 1-3-1. Raytown South just averaging 9 points per game. They would have the opportunity to probably try to match that here on this drive. Handoff, left side, big hole up to the 10, 5, and diving forward, inching close to the goal line. And a beautiful run there for Raytown South, number 34, Justin Turner. So Justin Turner uses his legs for 17 yards. And now Raytown South has a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line with the 2-0 lead. This is not what Park Hill South was wanting here at home to start off here in the first quarter. Walton with two backs to his right and one behind him. Barks the call, hands off, left side, wide open hole, touchdown for Jamal Cox. And so now Cox, who had the great return to set up this drive, now has a touchdown and make that 8-0 now for Raytown South. So the clock stands at 6:46 here in the first quarter. So a great start for the Cardinals. And now it looks like they'll set up for the extra point. Actually, it's a pitch to the left side to number 34, Justin Turner. So it was a fake. They go for two, and they convert. So make it 10-0 now on the two-point conversion for Turner. And a sneaky play there for Raytown South, and it's 10-0. So a safety here in the first quarter for Raytown South. A touchdown by Cox, and now a two-point conversion for Turner. And the clock stops here at 6:46. Park Hill South will get back the football. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter the rest of the season. We'll choose a weekly winner for a $50 gift certificate to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter today. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out promotions throughout the season on Facebook or Twitter at Nick and Jake's. The kickoff underway here. South boots it from right to left and into the hands of Park Hill South, streaking down the near sideline and tackled out of bounds at the 26-yard line. It was where Park Hill South will set up shop. So the Panthers now will have a 1st and 10 in their own territory. Down 10-0. We'll see what they can do to try to knock off some of the rust here to get things started. They'll come underneath center here with Carson Reed as the quarterback. Reed, two receivers to his right. He'll hand it off to the right side, and a diving running back goes near the 38-yard line. The ball carrier was Miles Hammonds. You'll see a lot of him this afternoon. They work him a lot, and it's good enough for an 8-yard, make it a 9-yard carry for Hammonds. So 2nd and 1 now for the Panthers. Reed underneath center with two receivers to his left, one to his right. Hammonds left side, and he's tackled for a loss. Hammonds couldn't get around the edge, and several Raytown South white jerseys right around the territory to take him down. And all of a sudden, the 2nd one turns into 3rd and 2. So Park Hill South will want to get something working here as the Panthers bring in Eddie Sola and keep Reed at quarterback. So Reed now will bunch it with tight ends on his left and right and a single back in the backfield, and now we got an encroachment here on Raytown South as number 58, Justin Chigbo, just accidentally jumped the gun there, and the Cardinals now give them an automatic 1st down off of the 3rd and 2. So the Cardinals shoot themselves in the foot there, and the Park Hill South will gladly take the 1st down. 10-0 Cardinals over the Panthers. Handoff up the middle, short gain. And that'll bring 2nd and long. Second and 8 now for the Panthers. Reed now with receivers right and left. Single back, he'll roll to his right, throws that way, and the pass is too tall for number 15, Craig Scott. They'll eye Craig Scott several times during this game. One of the top receivers here for Park Hill South coming in.
3rd and 8 for the Panthers.
So now we got a 3rd and 8, and Park Hill South needs to get something rolling here. As they'll come out in shotgun formation. Reed works the left, throws over his shoulder, diving and incomplete. It was intended for Craig Scott again, and Craig Scott had some heavy coverage on him by the corner, and the ball is incomplete. So now Park Hill South will have to punt it back to Raytown South, who leads at 10-0 as the clock stops at 4:53. And they'll punt it from their own 27. The ball spotted at the 42. Good snap, good punt, in over in, and it will bounce at the 30 and start rolling. And Raytown South will pick it up there, and number 24 running out of real estate land, and James Wilson will fall down at the 26-yard line, and that's where Raytown South will set up shop. The Command, the Kansas City Command, season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC-ARENA. Thinking about making a move? Fall is a great time to sell your home. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027. South with the football from their own 28-yard line. Running play right side. There's a little bit of a hole. Getting around the edge and then bumped out of bounds is number 28, Dion Williams. And a short gain will bring about 2nd and 7 here for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals really sticking on the ground here early on, trying to take advantage of this early 10-0 lead. A safety, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion completed. And they'll set up with a pistol formation. Play action, looking left and out of the reach of the intended receiver, number 2, Jamar Cutler. Walton just a shy to the left of his intended receiver, and that'll stop the clock at 4:01 and bring up a 3rd and long. So 3rd and 7 to make it exact. You can watch us all season long right here on 810varsity.com, also kcteams.com, as we are partnering with all media outlets around the Kansas City area to bring you high school football here in Kansas City. Walton with the pistol, looks left with the lefty hand, and the pass is, oh, they're going to say it's a fumble. And now they're going to say it's incomplete. I believe so. I believe the ball slipped out of his hands as he was pump faking it and looking for a receiver, and the ball slipped out. Park Hill South fans thought it might be a fumble, but it is an incomplete pass, so the 3rd and 7 goes unconverted, and now the Cardinals will have to punt back to the Panthers, where number 7, Zach Ricketts of Park Hill South, sits back. Also number 12, Alex Augsburg, will try to return this punt. End over end punt, nearly blocked, and a fair catch, and now out of the hands of number 7, Zach Ricketts, and Raytown South recovers. So a turnover for Park Hill South, and Ricketts make that Eddie Sola, actually, who is the intended receiver. So now Raytown South with another break, and they'll have the football at the 30-yard line. Timeout goes for Raytown South. They'll think this over now with the excellent field position. So that was Eddie Sola instead of Ricketts. And now Raytown South with the 10-0 lead has the football in great territory with 3:45 is where the clock stands. Nick and Jake's Real Food, Honest Drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. Thinking about making a move? Fall is a great time to sell your home. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027 or visit online at kenhooversales.com. He'd be happy to answer any questions and help you in any way. Ken Hoover, 816-210-2027. The real estate professional to count on. So first down for the Cardinals from the 30 in Park Hill South territory. Taking the snaps, Walton, play action. He's looking deep, and he throws to his intended receiver, and it's broken up by number 12 for Park Hill South. That's Alex Augsburg. And a beautiful pass deflection there as Walton had his man open for the Cardinals, but a great safety decision there by Augsburg. So that stops the clock at 3:40 here in the first quarter before we take our first break of the broadcast. Walton back in the pistol with three running backs. Right, left hip, and right behind him. Walton will keep it. Rolls to the left. Throws that way, and caught! And now they'll say he was out of bounds after he made the catch. It was Delvin Roser. And Roser with a great catch, unfortunately just fell out of bounds. You got to see a little bit of the zip there by Walton with that lefty-style throwing motion. And that will bring up third down. So Park Hill South, after the turnover, trying to get a stop here and get the ball back. Get something cooking of their own. Defense has been out there the last two possessions. Walton sends a running back in motion to the left side. Now the ball falls on the turf. A running back picks it up, now tries to fight off several defenders, and he'll go down for a loss. Number 8, Marcus Moy of the Cardinals is able to pick up the ball from becoming a turnover, but that will bring up fourth down, and now the Cardinals will have to punt back to Park Hill South, and Park Hill South will bring out some new hands back there, and Craig Scott now will return this punt. So they'll take Soul off the squad and put Scott back there to return this kick. And the clock now ticking away at 2:55, 10-0 here. Raytown South over Park Hill South. Punt on the way, end over end, spiraling kick, and out of bounds. They'll keep it away from Scott, and they'll place the football. I believe they're putting it right at the 16-yard line. It's where they're going to place the football. So a nice job by the punter there, ankling it out of bounds, keeping it away from the returner. And now we will have a Park Hill South first down from the 16. South trying to get something cooking here. They'll work from left to right in those purple pants and black jerseys. Reed underneath center. ISO time, handoff straight up the gut, and Hammonds gets gang tackled for a short gain right around 3 yards. Hammonds already with several carries in this contest, and they'll use him often for tonight. That brings 2nd and 8 now from the 18. Reed with the snap, rolls right, throws that way. He's got Scott. Scott's got a reception at the 26, and he's close to a first down. I think they'll say he's just a little shy. But right there you're seeing the beautiful hands of Craig Scott, just a 6-foot junior, but he is definitely the leader on this team when it comes to the receiving corps. Coming into this game, he had 21 receptions, 318 yards, and 7 TDs. Handoff up the gut, and this one, let's see where they spot the ball, but not much of a gain. It was a fullback dive for the Panthers, and this might be short of the first down. We'll see. They'll have to measure it. Official timeout. Park Hill South motioning that they have the first. But they'll bring out the chains and we'll have the measurement right here. Officials huddle around the football. And they stretch the chains and they got the first down. So Park Hill South now moves the chains as the ball is at the 26-yard line. They've got 1:36 to operate, down by 10 here, first quarter. As Reed takes the call from coach and heads back into the huddle, and the Panthers head back to the line of scrimmage. Here they'll have split receivers. Reed, handoff left. Hammonds swallowed up in the backfield. And Hammonds is thrown down for a loss about 6 yards. So that Raytown South defense looks pretty stealth here in the opening first quarter. Raytown South has definitely had a pretty tough schedule to start off the season. They were loaded up on the front end of the season, and now they're trying to gather some W's down here at the end of it. Reed, play action right side. Now he's going to run, and he's nicked out of bounds at the 20. No one was open. He was looking down the sidelines. And too much speed there on that linebacking core of the Cardinals. Chase Reed out of bounds, and now we'll have third and long, 3rd and 13 with 45 seconds left in the first quarter. We will take a break once this first quarter comes to an end, and we'll pick up the broadcast right there from the second quarter. Reed steps back, lobs it up, intended for Scott. Scott makes the catch. Did he get a foot down? The officials meet, and they're going to say he caught it. What a beautiful catch there by Craig Scott. He caught that in between 3 defenders and planted his foot down right before he was bumped out of bounds. And something Park Hill South was really needing there, that'll be able to drag some momentum there as they move the chains again and convert on a 3rd and 13. So a great job by the Panthers not hanging their head when it came to a big, crucial time in this ball game. Reed now will stack it with 2 receivers to his left and a tight end. Reed hands off. This is Solo, left side, and he works his way past midfield for about a 7-yard carry. And the Panthers trying to pick up some steam here as the clock ticks at 25 seconds and counting to end out the first quarter. 10-0 Raytown South. Panthers trying to get on the scoreboard here. They'll have about one more play here in the first quarter. Reed now stacks it to the right side. Tight end over there, 2 receivers. Reed hands off and broke down into the backfield is Eddie Sola. And the D-line just cracked through the interior offensive line there. And that's another loss for Park Hill South. So we'll take a break. That's the end of the first quarter. Raytown South up 10-0 when we come back. Park Hill South facing a 3rd and 10. This is high school football right here on 810varsity.com.
Third and 10 for the Panthers.
Welcome back here to start the second quarter, 10-0. Raytown South and Park Hill South starting off the second quarter now, facing a 3rd and 10. And Carson Reed at quarterback, just a sophomore, having his first start of the season here. So got to believe the young man's got a few nerves going through his first contest, but that's saying a lot when a coach can believe in you as a sophomore to take over the reins at quarterback and try to lead this team here at home. So Reed will see what he can do here with 3rd and 10. He had a beautiful connection there with Scott earlier on this possession. They're trying to continue the drive here on 3rd and 10. Reed rolls left, throws over his shoulder, and a catch completed up to the 44-yard line. And guess who? Craig Scott. And they've got a bullseye on Scott all game. Scott just an outstanding receiver, and he's done it all season long with beautiful receptions. First game of the season, he had 2 long 40-yard receiving touchdowns, and he's continued it throughout the season as he has 7 on the season. 11:50 now and ticking, and they move the chains, and Park Hill South back in Raytown South territory. Sola around the edge, and unfortunately can't find the hole, and he's tackled for a loss as the Cardinals have really worked that linebacking core early on here. Lots of speed from number 34, Justin Turner. And now a flag on the field, and Raytown South's pointing towards the Panthers. We'll see if we get a holding on this call. $5 foot-long subs are back at Mr. Goodson. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodson's. Holding is the call for South, so that'll back it up 10 yards. Raytown South will take the penalty, and now the Panthers are back in their own territory. So they'll face a 1st and 23. So let's see if Reed goes to the air here. Instead, they'll stick to the ground with Sola. And Sola with a short gain. Inches his way up past the 45. A Panther getting up slowly, but working his way back to the line. And now we've got 2nd and 22 with the clock ticking at 11:08. 10-0 Raytown South. We're here in the second quarter in Park Hill South with the 2nd and 22. Playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here on this drive. They've had some beautiful receptions, and then penalties and a few losses have kind of plagued them. Throw left and out of the hands. Reed put it right on the money. And unfortunately a drop by his intended receiver. Pass is intended to Nick Griffith. And now we'll see number 51, Seth Klein, limp off the field. So the trainers will tend to him. And they'll have to get a replacement on the line. And now the Panthers, who have completed a couple of 3rd and longs on this drive, now see themselves as a 3rd and 22 with the clock at 10:49. Reed with 3 receivers, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. He'll roll back, now being chased. Sacked, fumble on the field. Raytown South trying to race for the football, and they recover it at the 44. Reed just didn't have much protection there as he had rolled back, and they were trying to get enough space for him to be able to launch a pass downfield, and the whole defensive line came running in there for the Cardinals. Were able to commit the sack and recover the fumble. So now the Cardinals will start again in Park Hill South territory, up 10-0 with 10:39 on the clock. Walton, hands off left. Jitterbugging is the running back up to the 42-yard line. And a short gain for the Cardinals. Carrier was Glenn Pargo. Pargo, a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. They like to load up 3 backs in the backfield and run the piston, does the Cardinals. Walton now with the fullback and swallowed up and taken down. In the backfield, Park Hill South does a great job eyeing in here on Jamal Cox. And that's a great job as Cox had the earlier touchdown at the 6:46 mark in the first quarter. One of the running backs for Raytown South. So now Raytown South faces a 3rd and 12 from the 46 in Park Hill South territory. And we'll see what Walton is capable of as the lefty loads up trips to his left. Walton rolls that way, getting around the edge, throwing to his left and completing, but for just a short gain. The receiver was Kenny Rivers. Rivers was bumped out of bounds for about a 4-yard reception, and that will make it 4th and 8, and they'll place the football right at the 42. So now Raytown South will play conservative, up 10-0, and try to pin Park Hill South back in their own territory here with a punt. The clock stops at 9:22 here in the second quarter. Low snap, gathered, and the punt, low and wobbly and to the left, and it falls right at, I believe they're going to say, the 39, so that's just right around a 9-yard punt for Raytown South. So South had an opportunity there to really pin Park Hill South back, and fortunately for the Panthers, it was a low wobbly kick that angled itself out of bounds, and now the Panthers will start from the 35. Clock stopped at 9:16, 10-0 Raytown South over Park Hill South here on the road. Reed remains at quarterback, hands off, and Hammonds tackled down at the line of scrimmage. Hammonds trying to find a crease, but Raytown South has done a great job of creasing and working its way into the backfield here the whole first half. They await the call. Reed ran over to coach to get the play. Now Carson will step back in a shotgun formation with running backs on both hips. Rolling to his left now. Fakes the pass. Now he'll pick up and run. And he works his way up to the 42-yard line. So a great pump fake there by Carson Reed. And a nice little gain. And that'll bring up 3rd and short here for the Panthers. As you saw what Reed could do as he is able to roll out of the pocket there and has blockers in front of him. Reed can run pretty well there on the ground. So 3rd and 3. And the clock ticking right around 8:05 here left in the second quarter. Reed works to right, throws over his shoulder to Scott. Scott reels it in and has a first down. They have zeroed in on Craig Scott. Scott has been as good as advertised. Great job as Reed threw with his body to the right and was able to connect and move the chains. Clock working now at 7:53. Panthers down 10-0 and with the football. Reed back under center. Dive to the left, and I believe Sola was the carrier. So no gain or a short gain for the Panthers. And correction on the carry. Can't get the number, but a short gain for the Panthers either way will bring 2nd and 9 as they try to work their way past midfield here in the second quarter. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter all season long. At 810 Varsity is the Twitter handle. Reed, left side. D lineman comes in and a sack into the backfield. And that's several sacks already today for the Cardinals. And another big loss for Park Hill South. Park Hill South has had some great conversions, but they've also had some big losses that have really shot themselves in the foot from being able to commit any kind of momentum. So now we've got a 3rd and 18. Last drive, they faced a 3rd and 22. 2 receivers split, one to the right, one to the left. Reed over the middle, intended for his tight end, and the pass was too tall. And that will make it 4th and 18, and Park Hill South will have to punt with the clock stopped at 6:17. Need a realtor in the Northland you can trust? Ken Hoover treats the needs of you at down-to-earth level. Call Ken today and get the most out of your next move. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027 or visit online at KenHooverSells.com. Here comes the punt for Park Hill South. It's high end over end and out here towards the near sideline. I believe they'll spot this somewhere around
First down, Cardinals.
the 40-yard line. Now he'll work his way up to the 42, so that's where Raytown South will have it. Nick and Jake's Real Food, Honest Drink. Nick and Jake's the proud, the main sponsor of A10varsity.com, located in Parkville Commons, and in Overland Park on 135th Street, or visit us online at nickandjakes.com. Clock placed at 6:10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And flags on the field. This should be, I believe, a false start as they stopped it. And they're going to say encroachment instead. They'll say the Panthers were in the neutral zone. So that will move them 5 yards closer for Raytown South. Clock now ticking away at 6:09. They'll come out with 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Walton hands it off, wide open hole, up to the 40, 35. This is this is Jamel Cox all the way up to the 23-yard line. So a huge hole opened up right in the middle for the Cardinals. And Jamel Cox, who had the touchdown earlier in the first quarter, adds to it there with a nice little run of his own. And that will move the chains. And I believe they're saying there's a possible holdout there. Park Hill South issuing a hold, and it is a hold, so this one's coming back. We'll see if this was down the field where the hold took place. And it was, so they'll move it back to the 35-yard line. So still a big gain for the Cardinals, but some of that is pushed back on the hold. 10-0, Raytown South driving. Here's a dive play to the left. Short gain, great job there on the right defensive line side of Park Hill South. That brings 2nd and 9 now with 5:40 and ticking. Walton has played pretty good at quarterback here for Raytown South. Emotions is running back to the left. Now handoff here and diving forward up to the 32 will be Porter for a short gain. And that will make it 3rd and about, we'll say 7. Clock now underneath 5 minutes left to play. Raytown South still up 10-0. They'll have 3 receivers in this set. Here's a pitch to the right side, trying to find some daylight, and it's closed quickly. And a great tackle there by number 27, Cody Shopper of Park Hill South, will force 4th down here for Raytown South. And being down on this end of the field, you would believe that they might go for it here with a 4th and 5 in front of them. We'll see what type of personnel they load up with. So 4th, and make it 8 actually, as that run went for a loss on the tackle from Shopper. Clock now at 4:05 second quarter, 10-0 Raytown South, and Raytown South will take a timeout with the clock stopping at 4:04 left here in the first half. How did we get here, you may ask? Well, back in the first quarter, there was a safety right around the 8-minute mark, and after that, Raytown South was able to get the football back after a stop on Park Hill South and force a touchdown as Jamel Cox scored at the 6:46 marker in the first quarter, and then Turner on a trick play was able to convert a 2-point conversion. 10-0 Raytown South. Raytown South coming in here with 1 win, 3 losses, and a tie on the season. Park Hill South 3-2 on the year. And really, we would have believed coming in that, South was the slight favorite based on previous play before, and Raytown South has really came in so far with a great game plan. Let's see what they can do here on 4th and 8. Walton sends his back in motion. Here's a dive up the middle, and Cox, I believe, has enough for the first down. So on 4th and 8, Raytown South just loads up their big boys and is able to move the chains on a halfback dive to the right side. So Cox, who's already had a pretty good game, is able to add 8 more to his resume, and they'll place the football at the 25. The clock now ticking away at 3:54. Raytown South trying to sneak another score before the half. Walton, pistol, now the ball's on the field and picked back up by South, but a nice tackle by number 49, Austin Miller for Park Hill South. Saw the ball on the ground right away, and he was able to attack as the running back recovered initially, and then Austin came a good job of being able to complete the tackle, and now we'll have 2nd and 15 for Raytown South. Clock now at 3:15, 10-0 Raytown South as we head towards halftime. Walton, 2 backs to his right and left. Pitch left, here goes. Working around the end, up to the 28. Ball carrier was Glenn Pargo. And a great read by the Park Hill South defense as they're able to force the running back out of bounds for a short gain. We'll say it goes for a gain of 1. And we'll have 3rd and 14 as the clock now works its way at 2:40 left here in the first half. Park Hill South, if they want a victory here, want to keep Raytown South off the scoreboard with at least 7. They want to keep it within a 2-possession game as we head out towards the first half. Walton, handoff, Cox, jitterbugs, now he's got some room, up to the 20, 15, and diving forward for a first down up to the 10-yard line. Cox has just been a monster here in the first half, and now he'll move the chains, and with 2:13 here, Raytown South is steaming its way forward and possibly setting themselves up for a great scoring opportunity. Officials call a quick timeout to get set up. Official timeout, they'll say. And now they're back. So clock ticking underneath 2 minutes now. Walton, handoff, Cox. Cox up the middle, pounding his way forward and falling down at the 4-yard line. Cox saw a little bit of breathing room, and he took advantage as he lynched his way forward up to the 4. And now it's crunch time here for the Panthers as they want to keep Raytown South off the scoreboard. Walton, Pistol formation, two backs to his right. Here's the carry for Cox. Cox stood up and slammed down. Great job there by Park Hill South's defense, just moving in on Cox. And Cox, who's really had its way with this defense, gets smacked in the mouth there. So 3rd and 3 now, and underneath a minute left here in the first half. A big 3rd and 4 here for the Cardinals. Clock's ticking away. Walton barks in the huddle, now breaks it up. Two receivers to his right and left hip, one behind him, now sends a man in motion and a flag on the field. False start. No, they'll say delay a game. Either way, 5-yard penalty on the Cardinals will push them back. So South's got to like that. Park Hill. And now they have a little more real estate to have to take over now for the Cardinals. So the ball placed at the 10. They can still get a first down if they can make it to the 1-yard line. But I believe here with 3rd and 9, probably the main goal is to try to get it in the end zone. 37 seconds left, 10-0 Raytown South over Park Hill South. Walton, pistol formation, takes the snap, play action, rolls to his left side. The lefty then heaves it in the end zone, nearly picked off and incomplete. So now that stops the clock at 31 seconds, and we'll see if Raytown South has a kicking game. It doesn't look like they're going to try to set up for anything. They keep Walton out there. So with 4th and 9 and 31 seconds, it looks like the Cardinals don't have a kicking game to go to, so they're just going to try to put one in the end zone. So Park Hill South here will have to have a big stand as they set with 3 receivers. Looking left, Walton to the right side, man wide open, touchdown. Touchdown complete for Jamar Cutler. Cutler streaked in motion from the left to the right, and it looks like the back safety was more focused towards the receivers on the right end, and Cutler was able to sneak his way in there with 25 seconds left. That's a huge score for Raytown South, as Cutler with the 10-yard touchdown catch. And that was on 4th down. That might be one of the plays that we look at the end of the game as a deciding difference maker. And the extra point is no good, so we'll stay at 16-0. So that's good news for Park Hill South. The 16-0 still gives a shot at possible 2-possession game if they were able to convert their 2-point conversions. So 25.2 seconds left here in the first half. Ordering Goodson's is now quick and easy with Goodson's online ordering. Just log on to Mr. Goodson's and place your order today. 810varsity.com. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter the rest of the season. We'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift certificates to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter today. So with 25 seconds left, Park Hill South will get the ball back down 16-0. It was Cox with the touchdown for Raytown South. A safety, a 2-point conversion by Turner, and also a touchdown catch for Cutler. And here's a squib kick that will roll out of bounds, and they'll throw the flag out. So the penalty should take the football up to decent territory for Park Hill South, and we'll see if they just try to run the clock out and head to halftime, or if they try to throw a few downfield and see what they can do with 25 seconds left in the game. In the first half, that is. South huddling up, trying to figure out what the strategy is. If they do try to work any plays, I would say circle number 5, Craig Scott. See if maybe they can work a few passes to him, and you never know. They come out with 4 wide. Reed, shotgun. Works to his right, head over the hills, and guess who? Craig Scott with the completion and out of bounds, stops the clock with 20.2 seconds. So Reed zeroes in on Scott, and even with double coverage, Scott's able to loosen his way open and reel in the catch. And it looks like it wasn't Craig Scott, it was Schaefer Schutz, so I apologize for that. Here's Reed again. Catch to the left side, short gain. Number 7, Zach Ricketts with the reception. We'll go for about a yard gain. Clock stops at 14.2. And 16-0 Raytown South as we're finishing up the first half here. Clock at 14.2 seconds. Reed will have it with a shotgun. Receiving to his left, 3 to his right. Reed runs to his right. Now throws it over the middle, and it's caught at the 80-yard line. And a timeout on the field. So the clock stops at 6.4. Catch was reeled in by Alex Howe. And we'll see if they can get some trickery to maybe get a touchdown, force something in there at the last second. Reed really has done a pretty good job for his first start, like we had talked about, zeroing in. This is Carson Reed's first start. He has played throughout the season, but the 5'11 sophomore has really done a pretty good job with moving the football, throwing the passes through the air, finding his receivers. Craig Scott has caught several of those. Unfortunately, penalties and a few running plays for losses have really negated some of the nice plays that Park Hill South has had this evening. So 6.4 seconds. Here's Reed. And he'll heave it down the near sideline, and it will be out of bounds. 1.5 seconds left, and this should be the last play of the first half. So the ball at the 48 in Raytown South territory, and we'll see what Park Hill South has set up for this Hail Mary opportunity. They'll look over. Reed will get the play. Now runs back to the huddle. 8 seconds left on the play clock, so they'll have to hurry up and get this off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Reed gets it. Looks right, pump fakes, heaves it downfield, and it is incomplete. Intended for Craig Scott, and that is how we'll end the first half. So Raytown South comes in with a 1-3-1 record, and right now they have a 16-0 lead over 3-2 Park Hill South. We'll see if Park Hill South can head to halftime and get up a game plan here for the second half and try to mount a comeback. So right now we'll go ahead and take our halftime break. You've been listening to Raytown South and Park Hill South right here on 810varsity.com. We'll be back right after the break.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. Make sure it was coming through.
Doesn't think I'm an amateur or anything. That's all we're in the ballpark. Yeah, sorry it was a little hectic at first. I'm not used to.
Just went through there, okay.
That's cool. Find the water.
Always resides on the south side. They're the spirit and pride of Raytown South High School. Please welcome the 2011-2012 edition of your Park Hill South Panther Marching Band. The Park Hill South Panther Marching Band is under the direction of assistant drum majors Jamie Benzian, Alex Carlisle, and senior drum majors Jason Hooter and Kevin Burns. Dancing captain is Jackie Dempsey. Band directors were Dr. Craig Neal and Mr. Charles Boyd. Percussion instructors Matt Arnett. Dance team instructors Elizabeth Grimes. Choreography instructors are Jennifer Wilson, Josh Bograt, and Sonia Bowe. The band welcomes the Park Hill South High School dance team under the direction of Elizabeth Grimes. Dance team captain is Jackie Dempsey. The band is conducted by senior drum major Kevin Curtis, who is this year's team, with the playing of the 70s hit, Give Me Some Lovin'.
Welcome back, everybody, live here on 810varsity.com. Park Hill South down 16-0. Will be kicking off to Raytown South. And the Panthers, who came in the favorites, 3-2 record going against 1-3-1 Raytown South, see themselves down 16-0 here at half and are kicking off to the Cardinals. Here's a little pooch kick and just sneaks its way out of bounds. That would have stayed fair. That would have been a nice opportunity for the Panthers to be able to possibly recover the football and get the first possession of the half, but it just trickled out of bounds at the last second. So Raytown South up 16-0. Our highlights had a safety at the 8:45 mark in the first quarter. Were able to punch in a touchdown with Jamal Cox at the 6:46 in the first quarter. Then a trick play gave Justin Turner a 2-point conversion that made the score 10-0 at the 6:46 mark in the first quarter. And then Dylan Walton connected with Jamar Cutler for a 10-yard catch on 4th and goal with 25 seconds left. And that's how the half played out. And that's where we stand right now, 16-0 in favor of Raytown South. And it looks like they're going to bring the ball back and re-kick this. So I don't have the full word on it, but they will re-kick it from the 35-yard line. So Raytown South will have another opportunity here to return it as they just push them back 5 yards. And they'll kick from the 35. They line up and pooch it down the left side, and this one hits the ground and wobbles into the returner's hands, and diving forward up to the 29 is Glenn Pargo, and that's where the Cardinals will set up shop. So we'll see what kind of offense they run here with the lead. See if they come out conservative or keep it on the ground. Cox had a huge first half there for Raytown South as he was able to gash open some big holes and take advantage, and already over 100 yards rushing here in this ball game for Cox. Pistol formation. They'll stick with it. Walton sends his man in motion to the right. Now handoff, and swallowed up in the backfield is number 5, Mustafa Rose. And that will go for a loss. That is about a 2-yard loss. Park Hill South showing some life there on the defensive end. And we know that's something they're really going to have to step up here if they want to be able to come back here in the second half. Have to limit these possessions of Raytown South and try to force a couple of 3-and-outs, and that's just something we haven't seen a lot of. Walter. 2 receivers to his left. Looks right, though, and he's got his man open, and reeling it in is number 11, Reese Fleming, but it's a short gain of about 5 yards, so that will set up about a 3rd and 5 on the way for the Cardinals. Looks pretty smooth. Walton has looked pretty smooth with that lefty formation style. He's very elusive at the quarterback position, so he's done a lot of bootlegs to be able to scramble out of the pockets and try to find some open receivers. And he's really been able to add to that running game that the Cardinals have really shown off here in the first half. Running play, gashing the hole, and for a short carry goes the Cardinals, and it will be short of a first down. It'll be 2 yards shy, and they'll place the football at the 38. So the Cardinals will send out their punt team unit. Clock will continue to tick away here at 10:18, 16-0 Raytown South. And Park Hill South will set up shop with Craig Scott back to return this punt. Craig Scott set up at the 27-yard line. The punt underway. It's wobbling and angled and bounces at the 33-yard line, and that's exactly where Jamal Cox will retain the football, and that will set up shop there for Park Hill South. A flag on the field at the 41. See what the call is here. There's also a flag down at the 26. That could be a potential roughing the kicker penalty. So 2 flags on this play. We'll see what the officials play out on this situation. Park Hill South really doesn't, we assume it'd be a running into the kicker. Do not want to give away any first downs. And it is a running into the kicker, and that will be a first down. Personal foul, however, Raytown South. So maybe these will offset. So personal foul goes for Raytown South. A running into the kicker goes for Park Hill South. And they're still meeting with both teams to figure out if it's fourth down, if this is offsetting penalties, if the running into the kicker was a first down. I believe it would offset. And it will be. It will be fourth down. And they'll punt this again. Or not.
Mark Allred, please report to the press box. Mark Allred.
Park Hill South doesn't have a return man at the moment, so personal foul. Okay. So we've got this figured out. It's going to be a personal foul, will be a first down after the running into the kicker on Park Hill South will create a first down for Raytown South, but the personal foul on Raytown South will push them back. So they've got a 1st and 10.
First down, Cardinals.
And Cardinals will retain the ball with a 16-0 lead here. Walton. Play action, left side, heavy heat. He completes it, and the receiver makes his way past the first down and up towards the 41. On the reception was Jamel Cox, and a great job of reading the pressure was Dylan Walton. And now an injured Cardinal on the field at the 41. This will stop the clock at 9:48, and it looks like a potential cramp, so the trainers will work on the Cardinal as we speak. Ken Hoover Realtor, thinking about making a move. Fall is a great time to sell your home. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027 or visit online at kenhooversells.com. He'd be happy to answer any questions and help you in any way. Ken Hoover, 816-210-2027, the real estate professional to count on. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com, located in Parkville, in the Parkville Commons, and in Overland Park on 135th Street, or visit us online at nickandjakes.com. So the injured Cardinal was number 9, Jameel Cox, who's really been the star this afternoon for this game, and it looks like it was a cramp, so he'll walk off to the sidelines, and it'll be a first down at the 40 for the Cardinals. Walton back in the pistol, fakes the handoff. Now, nope, they'll say a fullback dive. Great play action there. The ball carrier was number 34, Justin Turner, who had that 2-point conversion earlier in the game, and this will go for an 8-yard play. So it had me fooled. So that just tells you the great play action there that Dylan Walton was able to put on, and the ball carrier, Turner, turns it up for 8 yards, and the clock ticking away at 9-12, with the Cardinals in front 16-0. Walton, hands off, left side, and the ball carrier is held up at the line of scrimmage. A great job by the interior there. It was Rose on the carry for Raytown South. That brings up another third down situation here in Park Hill South. Yet to have the football here in the third quarter, down 16-0. Clock now ticking away at 8:37. Let's see what they can do on this third down, the Cardinals. Walton with a back on his right hip and one right behind. Walton, hands off, straight up the gut goes Rose, and Rose is short. A great stand there by the defensive line for Park Hill South. So we'll see if this gets something churning, and that will make it 4th and 2. And so Raytown South, who had another opportunity with the football after the running into the kicker penalty, will have to finally punt to Craig Scott of Park Hill South. Craig Scott has really been the primary playmaker this afternoon for the Panthers. Punt on its way. This one's high, end over end. Scott calls a fair catch, and he reels it in at his own 20-yard line. And that is where the Panthers will set up with the clock stopped at 7:42 here in the third quarter and down 16-0. So scoreless in the first quarter. They want to crack this goose egg and see if they can get something reeling here in the second half. Park Hill South has been a bit inconsistent this season with the 3-2 record. They've looked pretty good at times, and I've seen their shortfalls as well. Rolling left, and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Reed put it right on the money. Unfortunately, Howe can't reel it in. So Reed has really been able to put the ball where he's needed to this afternoon. However, there's been a few incomplete passes due to drop passes. So Reed now will have to work with a 2nd and 10 from their own 20. They'll come out with split receivers, 2 tight ends, and a running back to the left. Reed rolls out to the left, throws that way, caught pass, and working his way and churning out of bounds is number 85 as Nick Griffith, the 6'1 sophomore. So Griffith is good for about 9 yards, and now we have another 3rd and short. And Park Hill South hopes to move the chains here if they want to get something churning. Reed heads to the sidelines to get the play. Now they'll break it up at the 23. Reed with 2 to his left, and here's an encroachment call. So a great job by Reed barking at the line of scrimmage. He forces that right side of the defensive line of Raytown South to jump off sides, and now a 1st down. So Reed, just a sophomore, but really has been able to do a pretty good job of getting the team together, being a leader, taking the calls from the coach, getting them together, setting up the offense. I mean, that says a lot at the high school level as a sophomore to be able to run a team the way he has done this afternoon. Unfortunately, the playmaking has not been able to turn into points. Short gain here up the gut. Raytown South continues to do a great job of shutting down the running game. The ball carrier was Eddie Sola there. So Sola for 2 yards. And the clock ticking away now. 7:08, third quarter, 16-0 Raytown South. Park Hill South working from right to left in the black and purple unis. Raytown South in the all white with the red helmets. Reed works to his right side. Pump fake, and now he rifles a pass and complete right near the 1st down marker.
Shoots his pass complete to number 15.
And it's Craig Scott on the reception. That was a laser pass by Reed. Looking great once he got out of the flats. And where the ball's marked right now, looks like it's just going to be a bit short of the 1st down.
3rd and short.
So that brings another 3rd and short for Park Hill South. clock now at 6:16. Park Hill South still has plenty of time, but they definitely want to get something going. The run, held up at the line, and I don't believe he got the spot for first. He was smacked right away, right in that nose guard area. And I believe from where they came in, it might be a little short of the first down. They will pause and go ahead and measure this out. So the clock now held at 6:03, and on a 3rd and short, they're going to have to measure. You would think, though, even if this is still short, you would probably have to go for it. 4th and short, you're down 16-0 at home. And I think they're going to say it's inches. I mean, it's right there, and it is first down. By the tippy nose of the football, they'll move the chains. So a great spot there, and a great job by Park Hill South with 2 first downs now on this drive. And they're going to try to see if they can swing some momentum their way. Raytown South has done a good job of preventing the big play this afternoon. Park Hill South just trying to get them in chunks. Here's Sol on the outside. He'll cut his way up towards the 49, and he's sliced down by a linebacker. And on the tackle, number 2, Jamar Cutler. So 4-yard gain goes for Sala. And then we'll have a 2nd and 6 now as coach is telling Reed to hurry up the offense a little bit quicker now as clock is ticking at 5:30 here in the 3rd quarter. Still have another 4th quarter behind us. Reed from the 49. 2 receivers to his right. Hand off to Sala. Sala tries to creak his way around the corner, but runs out of real estate and falls down at the 50. So Park Hill South now up to midfield, but they'll face a 3rd and 4 with 5 minutes left, 3rd quarter, down 16-0 to Raytown South.
33 for the Panthers.
And they'll say the official will be 3rd and 3. Make it 3rd and 3.5 is what we'll look for, as the Panthers will have to come out of the huddle here and try to move the chains once again. They've been good on 3rd down on this drive. 2 receivers split. Reed works left, throws towards Scott, and now hammered as the pass was intended that way. And they're going to call a pass interference on number 3, Steven Addison. So although the pass was too tall for Scott, Addison hit Scott before the ball could even get in the territory, and they're going to call a pass interference, probably from the spot of the football, and now move the chains. So a big break for Park Hill South, and something they've needed. I mean, they had a few setbacks in that first half, and, you know, they needed a few things to go their way here starting in the 3rd quarter, and right here on this drive, they've had a couple of 3rd down conversions, and this will be a 15-yard pass interference penalty. Now they've got a huge pass interference call going their way, and the ball's up to the 35. So things starting to get interesting here for Park Hill South, who's down 16-0, that has the football and in driving territory. Direct snap, Sala swallowed up in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Eddie Sola was the quarterback to start off the season, and now they've kind of moved him into more of a running back role as Reed is pretty fluent in the passing game. And again, we mentioned just his first start of the season as a sophomore tonight, running this offense. Here's Reed, shotgun, rolls to the right side, looks towards Scott, finds him. Scott out in the open, up to the 20, down to the 15. And a beautiful job with the yak there. The yards after catch. And a 1st down moves the chains, and Craig Scott doing it again on the receiving game. But maybe even a better pass there by Reed as he led his receiver perfectly. And now the clock ticking away at 3:47, but Park Hill South has something cooking. Ball at the 16. Two split receivers to the left. Solid the running back. Run left side. Getting around the end and tackled down at the 16. So a little hesitant there, waiting for his blockers, and gave enough time for the linebacker to creak into the backfield and throw him down. Raytown South with a late defender coming out. He'll have to run out before Park Hill South gets to the line of scrimmage. They do right now. Reed takes it, leads it towards receiver. Scott jumps up for it, but it's poked away and out of bounds, so incomplete. Pretty looking lead pass there by Reed, but the defensive back read it like a book and was able to get to it in time to knock it away from Scott. One of those jump ball situations when you just heave it up to your best receiver and let him work with it. Unfortunately there for Park Hill South, the defensive back was ready for it. Now Reed loads up on the right side, takes it from under center, goes right, and it's a screen, and wide open, up to the 10, 5, touchdown, Park Hill South. It's Alex Howe on the tight end screen, and he works his way all the way to the end zone. Reed doing a great job selling the screen, looking to the right side, and Howe just creeped up towards the left and was able to head to the end zone for 6. So now Park Hill South on the board, and they crack the goose egg, and you got to believe they'll probably go for 2 here. As Howe with the 16-yard reception on 3rd down. So 2:50 here, 3rd quarter now, 16-6. Important 2-point conversion here. Sola in the backfield. Reed throws right and caught. It's Scott with the 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, folks, we've got a ball game, 16-8, at the 2:50 marker here in the 3rd quarter. So Reed has really been able to come in here and give the passing game something to offer, and that's his first touchdown completion of the night. And Howe doing a great job of finishing the play on the screen, and then even better, Craig Scott, who has just been as good as advertised, reels in a 2-point conversion, and now it's 16-8. So we knew once Raytown South was unable to convert one of their conversions and leaving the score at 16, we knew Park Hill South had a shot at possibly making it a 2-possession game. And right now they're right on schedule as they complete the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So now possibly just down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from tying this thing up. And maybe with a little momentum. Now the Park Hill South sidelines have their helmets up, getting ready for this kickoff. And they'll launch it away, and it's a squib kick. And whistles blown, and a possible onside chance and offsides on Park Hill South. So the coaches not playing conservative at all, as they've had several squibs and onside kicks here. And this one's going to cost them 5 yards. Offsides, they'll re-kick from the 35. Again, 16-8, Raytown South in front. Clock now at 2:50. The Kansas City Command powering the 810varsity.com top 25 season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are now on sale. Call 855-KC-ARENA. Kick, high, Puchin to the right. reeled in, and up to the 40 is Delvin Rouser
Kick return by number 10,
for
Rouser.
the Cardinal.
First down, Cardinal.
And that is where they'll set up shop. So last time, Raytown South really just tried to work some clock, and they were able to do that nicely. And now Park Hill South, with their first possession of the second half, is able to punch it in on a third down touchdown. So we'll see what Walton has up his sleeve now. As he goes from the pistol, looking left, now heaving a pass that way, and the pass is too high and a flag. And this will probably be a pass interference on Zach Ricketts. So that's two pass interference plays now where the pass has been too tall and possibly uncatchable, or unreachable for that matter, where the officials have thrown a flag, and it has cost the teams 15 yards. So this will be a 15-yard penalty. And that should put the ball into Park Hill South territory. So that stops the clock at 2:40, third quarter. We will take a break once this quarter comes to an end. Step aside for a second. Again, my name's Heath Fanning. I'll be here for 810varsity.com all season, covering Park Hill South every Friday night. Here's the run, left side room, and a first down possibly, and a flag coming in late. Pargo was the carrier for Raytown South, and possible a late hit or a face mask, and they're going to say a face mask, personal foul, and that's going to move Raytown South even more. So a great 9-yard run, tack on 15. So this will put the ball from the 35 to right about the 20, and Raytown South trying to answer back that score right away. They'll put it at the 30. They'll say it was incidental face mask, so they won't put the whole 15 on it. Walton barks the call to his receiver at the left, and now official timeout as they have to get the chain set up. That will give Walton and the Cardinals a little more time to discuss the play that they want here on 1st and 10 from the 30. Up 16-8, Raytown South trying to answer the score of Park Hill South. Walton back in the pistol, hands off. This is Pargo getting around the end. Now it's got a little room, and he inches his way forward for about a 3-yard carry. Good job of the closing defense there for the Panthers. It'll be 2nd and 7 here with the clock underneath 2 minutes, third quarter. Make sure everybody tunes into 810 radio after this game, as we'll have recaps from all around the metro, including this game as well. Here's the handoff. Pargo. Straight dive up the middle. Up to the 22. 2 yards shy of a first down. 5-yard carry there for Pargo. Clock now at 1:30. Defense needs a big stand right here as they inch their way towards the fourth quarter with 1:15 left here, third quarter. Raytown South trying to keep it on the ground. A handoff right side, smacked right at the 20. A big hit. Jameel Cox was the ball carrier. We'll see if it was enough for the first down. The ball placement looks pretty nice there, and I would assume that's going to be a first down. Great tackle either way. It looks like the officials are going to call a timeout and measure this one out. Unless they're looking from the 20. The sticks are right on the 20. The ball's past it on the 20, but they're still going to go ahead and measure this one. So I believe it's a first down for Raytown South with the clock stopped at 48 seconds. Should be a 1st and 10 set up from the 20. And it is. So the chain gang runs back off the field. And Walton will try to see if he can punch in another score. He's got one passing touchdown on the day. The other score for Raytown South was a run punched in by Jameel Cox. Clock ticking away, 38 seconds. Here's the run to the left, getting around the corner. He's got daylight. Touchdown, Raytown South, number 34, Justin Turner. Justin Turner now with his second score of the game. Had a 2-point conversion earlier, and this one goes for 19 yards. So that stops the clock at 29 seconds in the third. And the score now 22-8, extra point on the way. So Park Hill South, who just got done with a long drive to get their first score of the game, gets it answered right away as Raytown South marches down the field and punches one in. And they continue to look impressive on the ground. And now they'll take the extra point unit off. And it looks like they are going to go for 2. So even though they have a 14-point lead here, they want to see if they can extend that lead. So Walton from the 3, hand off, left side, it's Turner again, he's smacked and dives his way in, and he's got 2-point conversion. So Turner adds to the 2-point conversion, and now it's 24-8. So Turner now has allotted for 10 points himself, 2 2-point conversions and a touchdown run, and now the score 24-8. So Park Hill South seats itself right where they started here in the second half, and that's down by 16 points. So the clock stops at 29.6. We will take a break as this third quarter comes to a close. Again, make sure you tune to 810 Radio after this game as we will have scores and highlights from around the KC Metro, including this game, a live update, and more. Reed points to the skies, and the kick comes, and it's launched back. Craig Scott will take it from the 10, angles his way, now upfield. He's got a little room to work with, up to the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and in to Raytown South territory. Craig Scott answers with another big play. A return of 44 yards for Craig Scott. Wow. We mentioned that he has been a huge bright spot this afternoon for the Panthers. He's really been a huge bright spot all season for the Panthers. And now with 17 seconds left in the third quarter, we'll see if the Panthers elect to pass or run here to start off this drive in Raytown territory. Reed with 3 receivers on this play. He'll roll to his left, got a defender right on him, and he now avoids pressure, still on his feet, working to his right side, throws over his shoulder, and nearly picked off. So a Houdini act there by Reed in the backfield. Escaped one, and then 2 tacklers. Threw it to his right side, nearly picked off, but an incomplete. So avoiding danger is Reed. And now we're back with a 2nd and 10 with 7 seconds left. Third quarter, 24-8 Raytown South. So this possibly will be the last play of the third quarter. Reed underneath center. Play action to his left again. Gets past the DN. He's looking downfield. He had an open receiver, but elected to run instead.
Schaefer shoots on the carry.
So, number 8, Matt Gillespie was able to slip past the secondary, but unfortunately they didn't see it in time, and we'll head to the fourth quarter. So 24-8 the score. Raytown South cruising here as we head to the fourth quarter. This is high school football right here on 810varsity.com. Welcome back. We'll change ends now with the Panthers heading to the fourth quarter. 24-8 Raytown South in front, and Park Hill South driving once again. Reed rolls to the right side, intended for Scott. Scott reels it in again, and he heads out of bounds, and that will be a first down. Ball at the 36, and make it the 38. So this will be third and short. This should be fourth down territory. And they'll call a timeout. I don't know if they're going to check and see if it's near a first down. I believe it's fairly short. Timeout on the field, and now we're back on. So actually fourth down and 2, and here we go. 4th and 2, Reed sends a man in motion to the left side, underneath center, rolls to the left, looking for intended receiver. Nobody's open, he just heaves it up there, and it's intercepted. So that play was not working from the get-go, and unfortunately he's picked off. So with 11:42 in the fourth and 24-8 lead here for Raytown South, you got to believe Park Hill South's opportunities are coming to a minimum. So Raytown South will take this 16-point lead and head right to left here in the fourth quarter with 11:42 left to play. South keeps it on the ground, and shaking and baking is Pargo. Pargo turns sides and heads up to the 40. Pargo avoided traffic in the backfield and was able to at least make a gain out of it. So he switched ends, went left, back to right, and a short gain, and that will keep the clock ticking away there for Raytown South. So now we've got a second down. See if they try to milk any clock, and they don't. They hand it off right away. And another short gain at the right side. So Park Hill South doing a good job on the defensive end here. Band starts playing here for Park Hill South fans. And third and long here for Walton and the boys. Three receivers bunched to the left, one to the right here for Walton. Walton takes a snap, goes left and a flag. False start. So false start. We'll push it back 5 yards and stops the clock at 10:31, 24-8 Raytown South. Cruising here in the fourth. Thinking about making a move? Fall is a great time to sell your home. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027. That's 816-210-2027. Or visit online at kenhooversales.com. Still trying to figure things out after the false start penalty. Believes as the officials are asking the band to quiet down. So the band starts playing, the officials have to come over to the sidelines, and they're saying, bring it down. Oh, this is rare. Now they can't do, they're not supposed to be playing during the play, so just got word from up here in the press box. And maybe that helped force the false start there. And Park Hill South will take advantage of it. So that pushes them 5 yards back. I'm sure you could probably hear the band playing as we've got the windows open tonight in the press box. And the fans, they're going to wave the flag. They're going to wave the flag. They're going to say since they were playing during the false start that they're going to bring it back. So 3rd and 9. So a little weird turn of events there. Either way, still 9 yards for the first down. 3 receiver set up here. And now another official timeout, or are they arguing with... Has the coach got a question for the officials? So we'll have another pause in the action, which brings a great time to let you know about the command, the Kansas City Command, powering the 810varsity.com Top 25, which you can check out on 810varsity.com. Season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are now on sale. So take advantage. Call 855-KC-ARENA. We're getting this figured out here. Coach obviously wanting that false start to waive the penalty and then tell them to stop playing, which I think Coach has a good point. I mean, they could have told them to stop playing before the false start, but the band makes an impact here, and that's just all a part of Friday Night Lights. So clock stops at 10:28. They're going to say the penalty is no, and Coach gets an ear or two in. I'm sure that's what he wanted to do. Fans cheering for Coach, and the score 24-8. Still Raytown South, and Raytown South now, and now a timeout. I believe they're saying a timeout. A lot of pause in the action here. There's been a lot of confusion from this officiating crew here down the stretch, and it's going to be a timeout for Raytown South.
Timeout, Panther.
Ordering Good Sense is now quick and easy with Good Sense online ordering. Just log on to MrGoodSense.com and place your order today. Also, Nick and Jake's Real Food, Honest Drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com, located in Park Hill, in the Park Hill Commons, and in Overland Park on 135th Street, or just visit them online at nickandjakes.com. So the scoring throughout this game, how we got 24-8. Safety back in the first quarter at 8:45. Raytown South took a 2-0 lead. Then Jameel Cox had a touchdown score at the 6:46 marker to make it 8-0. A 2-point conversion good for Justin Turner. And then Cutler caught a pass for a 16-0 lead at halftime with Raytown South. Second half, a catch for Howe for Park Hill South to make it 16-8 with the 2-point conversion from Scott, and then a touchdown here of late by Turner, and we're at 24-8. And here is Raytown South, who's trying to inch its way for a first down. I believe will fall short about a yard, and the clock will remain to tick. So that's 4th and 1. Decision time here. And some of the players are saying, go, coach, go. Let's milk this clock out. We've got the lead. And even in their own territory with a 4th and 1, it looks like coach is going to go for it. So they send Walton, the quarterback, back out to play. Again, Walton, a sophomore himself, so both teams have sophomores starting tonight. And now Raytown South has to blow a timeout. Couldn't get the play in time. Delay a game. And we will take a timeout as well. So we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have more action right here between Raytown South and Park Hill South. All right, so now a big 4th and 1 for Raytown South, who has a 16-point lead, 9:38 left in this game. Park Hill South, if they want any chance of making a comeback, need to find a way to make a stop here. They got Walton. Walton hands it off, working towards the right, diving forward is Pargo, and right at the stakes, and that looks good for a first down. Pargo was so quick around that edge. And they've really had 3 running backs tonight that have been able to work the load. And that is a first down. So we'll see if the Cardinals just try to bleed the clock with this lead. Make sure you tune in to 810 Varsity every Friday night. We'll have Park Hill South every Friday with myself, Heath Fanning, on the call. Walton killing the clock, watching the game clock just tick down. That's all they're doing right now is just killing that clock. Walton now takes a snap and a false start on the right end. Some more flags. And that'll back it up 5 yards. Now make it 1st and 15.
First and 15 for the Cardinals.
Quick reminder, follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for a $50 gift certificate to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter today. That handle for Twitter would be at 810 Varsity. So here we go, 1st and 15, South, Raytown that is. Walton kicks the leg, moves. Here's a draw, delayed to the right side, and Pargo slips down at the 40. So the defense for the Panthers do a good job of closing the gap there on Pargo. Clock continues to move now at 8:40. And here we go. So they'll huddle up, and pretty much what we're seeing here is Raytown is trying to bleed the clock and keep the ball on the ground. And that's exactly what they're doing. 2 receivers here, 2 running backs. Here's Pargo, right side. Pargo stays in bounds and has a decent run of 7 up to the about midfield marker. So that makes it 3rd down. And the clock ticking now underneath 8 minutes to play. So 3rd and 9. And the ball is placed right at the 50. And let's see what the Panthers can do here defensively. They'll stack two receivers to the left here as Walton sets in that classic pistol formation. Takes the snap, goes left, heaves a pass that way, and it's just out of the reach of its intended receiver. It was intended for Delvin Rouser, and that will stop the clock at 7:26. So you would think that the Cardinals will punt here. And Scott, who had a nice kickoff return in the third quarter, will get an opportunity here in the punt return game. So 7:26 is where the clock stands, left to play. The ball on the field and sacked. The punter, and now a late flag. Are they going to say a face mask on this? The ball, it was a bad snap. The punter had to pick it up. The return team came in and was able to take down the punter, and then a penalty flag came in right away. Personal foul, face mask. So that negates the beautiful play that Park Hill South just was able to make, and this will move the chains for the Cardinals. So what looked like disaster for the Cardinals now. And actually, they're going to say personal foul from where the play ended, so that won't be an automatic first down. It will just move it up to the 45, so they'll still have to punt, and they do. And the ball hits at the 20 and then skims its way out of bounds at the 16. So Park Hill South will be able to get the football. I thought when the personal foul came out that was going to be an automatic first down. Instead, it put it 15 yards from the spot of the tackle, which was still 5 yards short of a first down. And so now Park Hill South, it's a little bit of panic mode now at 7:12. And down by 16, 24-8. They'll have to see what they can do through the air, that's for sure. And everything's 4-down territory now. Reed works left. Now pauses and throws it out of bounds. Nobody in the territory. He was out of the pocket. So clock stops at 7:06 on the incomplete pass. See if the sophomore can get something churning here. Carson Reed. Reed back underneath center. Three receivers, two to the left. Here's the run play for Sola, and he's hammered in the backfield. Now the ball's on the field, but they'll say it was down by contact. So Park Hill South goes back to the ground after that pass incompletion, and now the clock's ticking. So that will make it 3rd and long, and Reed's got to hope that coach can come up with some kind of nifty pass play here to hopefully move the chains to keep them alive. So 24-8. And throwing is Reed down the field, and this one sails out of bounds. You know, one thing we haven't touched on is Miles Hammonds usually gets the bulk of the carries, and we really haven't seen him in the second half. So hopefully he's okay. Maybe they just decided Solo would be the better ball carrier at this point. But the incomplete pass is now going to force Park Hill South to punt. And back over to Raytown South. So we'll keep an eye on that Hammonds. We'll see if he's back next week. But we know Sala took a lot of those carries here in the second half. There'll be two punt returners here for South. Punt comes through. Oh, a nice looking punt all the way back to and the 37, and Raytown South diving on the football. They're going to say it was touched by South and now recovered by Park Hill South. And recovering the punt was number 55, John Holden. So an interesting way of moving the chains there for the Panthers, but they'll take it. Clock stopped at 6:02, 24-8. So now, split receivers, two tight ends set, and they'll hand it off to Sala. Sala right back up the gut. Again, no Miles Hammonds here in the second half. Short gain of 2 yards there, 24-8. Clock ticking away now at 5:40. Now that the Panthers kept it on the ground. So they need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, more than likely an onside kick, a touchdown, 2-point conversion. But we've seen it done before. Clock now at 5:25. Reed with two receivers. 5-step drop. Now he steps up and he's hammered. Ball down on the ground. Fumble, and I think it's actually recovered by Reed as it was swatted back into his hands, but the defensive end came out on his blind side and really rocked Reed there. But Reed doing a good job of recovering the football as the clock now underneath 5 minutes to play. So 3rd and 11 here in 4-down territory. 24-8 in favor of Raytown South. And here goes Reed on 3rd down. Reed left, aims for Scott, and its pass is deflected. And that was actually intended for Kyle Reardon. So that brings down a 4th down, and this could possibly be the last play for Park Hill South. Clock at 4:35, and Raytown South has had some success on the ground here. So 4th and 11 for the Panthers, down by 16. With 4:35 left, Reed takes the play. Now comes back over to his bunch, and they'll break the huddle. Two tight ends, two receivers. Sala in the backfield on the right hip, and now a timeout. And a timeout for the Panthers. And they'll try to figure this out, as they know this play is very, very important with 4:35 left, down by 16. Ken Hoover thinking about making a move. Fall is a great time to sell your home. Call Ken Hoover at 816-210-2027 or visit online at kenhooversales.com. He'd be happy to answer any questions and help you in any way. Ken Hoover, 816-210-2027, the real estate professional to count on. Also, the Command, the Kansas City Command, powering the 810varsity.com top 25 season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC Arena. Might be a nice alternative to the Chiefs, who are struggling early on this year. 24-8, 4th and 11 here. Here's Reed on 4th down. He throws over the middle, and it's picked off. Picked off, and Raytown South shrinks its way up to the 37-yard line, and then a tackle out of bounds. So Reed's interception, 2 interceptions now for him, and 4 turnovers in this game for the Panthers that just really shot themselves in the foot on that end. So now clock at 4:25 and down by 16, Park Hill South will have to come out and play defense, as Raytown South will probably just keep with the run and try to waste some clock. Special thanks to all of our sponsors tonight: Nick and Jake's, Mr. Good Sense, Ken Hoover, and the Command. And they'll be carrying these broadcasts all season long. They do a great job of making sure high school football comes to you, as Kansas City is one of the best leaders in high school football around the area. Here's Pargo, short run, and tackled in the backfield. Good job on the D-line there by number 53, Zach Norton. Clock ticks away. So the clock has stopped for some reason. And illegal shift. And they'll decline it. They'll decline the penalty because it was a loss on the carry. So clock continues to run now, 4:16 and ticking.
Second and 12 for the Cardinals.
Park Hill South possibly heading to 3-3 on the season. Raytown South trying to get their second victory. Here's a carry for Cox, who's had a great night. Short gain. Makes it 3rd and 14. Clock continues to tick away. 3:30 now. Reminder to follow A10 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter the rest of the season. We'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift certificates. You can follow that Twitter handle at A10 Varsity. Here's the 3rd down play, and 3 missed tackles, but the Panthers get it done as they bring down the ball carrier at the 31. So great job by the defense, not giving up and really forcing Raytown South to 3 and out. And Raytown South's really been pretty swift on that running game. And now with 2:50 and up by 16, they'll punt it back to the Panthers with 2:45 and ticking. Craig Scott will remain the punt returner. He'll sit at his 35-yard line. And now timeout. And coach, who's up by 16, calls a timeout with 2:29. We'll take a timeout as well. A quick little break, and we'll be back with more high school football right here on A10Varsity.com. And we're back, 4th and 16 here for Raytown South as they'll punt it away. Craig Scott set to return it, standing at his own 37-yard line. They'll bring it, and it's blocked. Park Hill South comes in and blocks the punt. So great special teams play there. And the Panthers now will have it at the 30 in Raytown South territory. So the clock stops at 2:24. The Panthers down by 16, and they still have a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. See if they can maybe punch in a score. They need to get to the passing game, though, and they need to give some time for Reed to be able to throw it. Reed will have 2 receivers bunched to his right with a back in the backfield, and they're going to hand it off. And there is Hammonds, I believe. And Hammond's finally getting a carry. Goes for 4. Clock now at 2:10 and ticking. It stays in bounds. Ball placed at the 24. And we are at the 2-minute marker. Two receivers now stacked to the left. Reed, handoff. Hammond's taken down. Ball on the field. They'll say he was down. So Park Hill South hasn't attempted to pass it yet. Keep it on the ground. They'll bring up a third down and a timeout. And we'll take a timeout as well. So we'll step aside. 1:50 left, 24-8, and a 16-point lead for Raytown South. But Park Hill South has a chance to maybe put another score on the board. And we're back. Third down and 7 to go from the 27. 1:50 left. Third down play for Reed. Reed works to the right, and he's sacked. Reed didn't have a chance. That line was blown up from the get-go. And got to take your hat off to the sophomore. Reed's taken some licks tonight, but he kept getting back up. And just really didn't give the young man an opportunity there on third down. They came in, they swarmed him, and they brought him down, and now the clock ticking away at 1:20, and it looks like Raytown South is going to get the W here as they will probably get their second victory of the season, head to 2-3-1, and now Park Hill South will head to 3-3 on the season. Reed will go for it here on fourth down. They've got nothing to lose, down by 16. Underneath a minute to play. Reed heaves it up, and it's out of reach for the intended receiver, and that will be a turnover on downs. So now with 52.4 seconds left, you can believe that Raytown South will probably just be able to kneel down the ball. And we're heading to the close of our broadcast tonight. Again, if you're tuning in with us tonight online, make sure if you're following scores around the area, tune in to 810 Radio right now, and you'll get an in-depth look of all the scores around the area. Maybe there's some other matchups that you're looking at. Maybe your team's in the running for a title run, even postseason play. So make sure you tune in to 810. We'll have area wrap-ups from all around the KC Metro, who does it one of the best in the nation, as we are really working together with a lot of different outlets here in the Kansas City area to try to cover as many games as we can for you right here with 810varsity.com, kcteams.com, and 810 Radio. And Raytown South just going to go ahead and kneel it out. Our star player of the game for Raytown South has got to go to Jameel Cox. He had a huge game on the running game. Also, Turner had a couple of scores for them. Hats off to Craig Scott, who's our player of the game for Park Hill South. He had several catches, and you know, Reed's going to have another opportunity to probably start next Friday, and I really thought the young man did a pretty good job. He just wasn't left with a lot of options going against this Raytown South defense, who was just loaded and getting to the backfield. Another reminder, though, follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift certificates to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter tonight. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Make sure to tune in next Friday night. If you're following Park Hill South, I will be on the call myself, Heath Fanning. But for those of you who did tune in tonight for 810varsity.com, everybody, you guys have a blessed weekend. Drive home safely and enjoy the weekend. All right, have a good one. Signing off from Park Hill South. District Stadium. I'm Heath Fanning, and we're out for 8-10 varsity.
All right.